Nigeria. This is not a country that should be endorsed by anyone.
But have you ever wondered why American and European countries often discourage travel to Nigeria?
It's an important question that I get asked a lot, but I really want to challenge how we think about safety in Nigeria, because whenever I go to Nigeria, I am personally shocked by the amount of visible foreigners that live there, owning Nigerian resources and living their best lives without a worry in the world, because they know exactly what I'm talking about too.
Even if I tell you, people just need to come here. There are so many opportunities here and are developing a lot. This city is taking a new turn.
Not explore this so-called dangerous country.
Nobody wanted me to come here. Here, I feel so relieved. It's so cool. This vibe is so chill.
Finally, I'm going to a country that many people know for the wrong reasons. Because when you mention it, people think about scams. But I flew here and I want to show you a different side of this country. Welcome to Nigeria. Every time when you talk about Nigeria, people think about this, and this. But when I landed in Lagos, I saw things from a different perspective. I saw technology companies like Microsoft and Oracle. I saw busy malls, beautiful churches, and for a moment I couldn't believe that this was Nigeria that people told me about. They built a public transportation system that was efficient than that of many countries. In the southern part of this country, I saw beautiful waterfalls, but the best part were the people. Yes, this is Nigeria, but this was also Nigeria, and on my way out of Nigeria, I was able to see what the country was building and what it is capable of achieving in the future.
I am embarking on my most dangerous journey yet. Today I'm flying from Lagos to Maiduguri in northeastern Nigeria. Yes, that's the same Maiduguri where Boko Haram started and all Western governments warn against travel. But here's the truth about Maiduguri. It is a safe and peaceful city. The militants have been pushed out for years now, yet the reputation of the past continues to paint this city with a negative light. There are still remnants of the past, like a total ban on motorcycles as they were used by Boko Haram, but I visited the markets, religious sites, went out in the evening for suya, and even got a chance to stay with a local family and experience the real Maiduguri. So many people try to paint this city like it's a war zone and anyone going there is going to die, yet when you actually travel there, you see people living completely normal lives like anywhere else. That's not just the truth about Nigeria, but so many other countries. The past does not define these places, and you can learn so much about them by keeping an open mind and actually listening to the people from there. This is exactly what I am doing with Authentic Traveling and showing these lesser known places.
I felt very safe in every part of Nigeria that I went to. In general, wow, I felt extremely safe in the country. And I feel like because certain things have happened in the past, that Nigeria maybe has kind of a bad reputation because of that. But now from what I know, all of that is over. You know, all of the cities took measures to protect their people, and I felt very, very safe everywhere and very welcomed by Nigeria.
I cannot even tell you how nice everyone in Kano has been. Is generally such a kind and also a very smiley person.
We're at the Emir's Palace in Dutse. This is in Jigwa.
So I think there's this misconception that women all over the world are treated poorly, and I'm not sure where this idea of this commentator came from, but I think that Nigerian women have a pretty important place in society, it seems to me anyway. I also think that Nigeria is like a very developed country in a lot of ways. It's also a huge country. I think Lagos is the largest city in Africa by population. So there's just so many people, a lot of different cultures, and obviously within those cultures, you know, people are going to have different hierarchies and different ways that women are treated, just as they are across the world. In every culture, it's very different. As far as my favorite thing that I did, eating masa just stands out to me so much. I don't know why, but it was just so good, so tasty, and so yummy that I could not stop thinking about it. I loved visiting the dye pits in Kano. I thought that was really interesting to see how they used indigo and how they've continued to do this ancient process. I thought that was really cool. Having said that, I would really like to go back because I have so many places on my list that I wanted to visit that I didn't visit just because we only had a certain amount of time for this whole trip. I had to reduce the time in Nigeria, which now that I'm gone, I'm feeling sad about. I want to go to Port Harcourt. I want to go to Benin City. I want to go to Bauchi, Maiduguri. There's a few other places as well that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I really want to go back to Nigeria and see more.
I just spent a whole month eating my way through Nigeria, and these are some of the favorite foods that I had. Starting off with jollof rice. You just can't come to Nigeria and not try jollof. I tried some of the most expensive with caviar and sprinkles of gold, and some for as cheap as $1. This is called dambu nama. It's basically chicken cotton candy. Sounds strange, but a very underrated snack. Getting around Nigeria and trying all these foods was made so much easier. I was able to book a domestic flight that took me from Lagos to the city of Port Harcourt, where I ate my favorite dish in the whole country, bole and fish, aka plantain and fish. The sweetness of the plantain and the saltiness of the fish just hit so well together. This is called suya. It's an absolute staple in the northern parts of Nigeria. It's the tastiest grilled meat you'll ever try. And on the topic of meat, this is called kilishi. It's essentially the Nigerian beef jerky, and it's the absolute best snack. Here are some crickets I had in Borno State, which were surprisingly very delicious. And this dish is called pyom pyom. It's basically sea snails and goat's foot, which sounds like a very strange combination, but it was delicious. I could suck on these snails for days. Nigeria is such an underrated food country. If you decide to come and want to stay connected, make sure to use my discount code for a cheeky 5% off.
There's so much about how Nigeria isn't safe, and I too was one that didn't want to go out here. For this trip, I decided to get out on my own. I didn't go far, maybe like a 10-minute Uber ride to get my nails done. I felt fine and made general conversation. Arrived at the nail salon that I found on Google. Shout out to Nails by Faye. She was super nice, finished up my nails, and then it was time for me to go. I tried ordering an Uber when I noticed I didn't have any service. She ordered me one on her phone. I was kind of nervous because my ride wouldn't be tracked on my device. But like every other ride, I get in, make conversation, which makes both of us feel comfortable. He drops me off, she calls to make sure I made it in safely. All in all, my trip was great, and literally every person that I encountered was pleasant.
country that should be endorsed by anyone. It is not a country that anybody should go to. It is the most dangerous country. It is the most, this is the most, in fact, they were going to say it is the most dangerous in the whole universe or the whole planet. And says people who have never been to the continent. It says people who have never touched down on the continent, how much more Nigeria. It says people who live in countries that have more mass shootings than number of days in a year. It says people who live in countries where the rate of stabbing, especially with pair-on-pair violence, is getting out of control. It says people who are, let me even just stop there. Somehow we have allowed people like this to define to us what safety is. However, let's answer the question. Why do foreigners risk their lives to come to Nigeria? Maybe because they are not really risking anything that they wouldn't risk if they were visiting any other parts of the world. So in essence, they are not really risking their lives by coming to Nigeria. You know, they're not taking any special or unique risk like they were coming to an active war zone, coming to an active, you know, terrible place where the moment you get down, you get snatched and put in a car, your bag gets snatched and stuff like that. No. It is because they knew that we are coming to a place that is a land of opportunities. Because they're coming to a place that they knew was diverse, was beautiful, is beautiful. Because they knew that they're coming to a diverse country, a beautiful country where, you know, there are opportunities, where the people are hospitable, the people are kind. Nigeria is way too big and too massive. Nigeria is too unique to be described and categorized by one thing. They are scammers. Boko Haram, it is dangerous. Nigeria is way too special. It is way too diverse. And when we are talking about the diversity, we are not just talking about the unique culture, different cultures, the unique languages, the different people. We are also talking about the geography of the country, the topography of the country, the diversity in the landscape of the country. I mean, when I was putting this video together, it just really sank in for me that this country is beautiful. And there are so many things that we are just taking for granted. We just want to see more of my beautiful country, Nigeria, because there is so much to see here. And foreigners are not risking anything that they won't risk anywhere else by coming to Nigeria, okay? There is literally a whole population of them in this country that live here peacefully. They enjoy their lives here. I don't know how many foreigners you would ask in Nigeria and they will tell you that they never felt safe here. Like, this picture that is painted is so bizarre because majority of the time you won't hear them say they did not feel safe here. And so it's incredible now that you now have foreigners, fellow Africans, some from Ghana, some from, I think that guy was from Gambia. You have all of these people from different parts of Nigeria, of the Africa now, coming to Nigeria and being like, this is not what we expected. This is not what we expected. This is so far from what especially the Western media tells us about this country. There is so much more to them than all the negativities, you know. However, I would also say that contrary to the intro that was like, oh, when you think of Nigeria now, you think of scams and all, I am also really happy about the fact that Afrobeat has really helped in now making sure that you think of more than that now when you hear of Nigeria. You know, you think of Burna Boy, you think of Wizkid, you think of Davido, you think of, you know, incredible, beautiful culture that we've been able to export. And it is beautiful to see that gradually more and more about Nigeria and of Nigerians as a people is becoming more exposed to the world, and really makes me want to explore more now. And honestly, while I was editing this video, I felt a little bit sad. We have allowed ourselves to be told about our own country. For some of us, a country that we are inside, that we live in, we have allowed Al Jazeera, the BBCs, the Fox News, and all of these people to tell us about our own country, to tell us the areas that we cannot go because this is dropping. These are people who have never touched this country before, but yet we allow them to be the ones to put this fear in our minds about our own country. Now, am I saying that some of this news is not true? Of course not. Some of them are true, and sometimes they are covered by our own local media. However, if you notice, majority of the extremely exaggerated, extremely gruesome news that you hear is from the foreign media. For example, nothing has happened in Borno for a very long time in Nigeria. It's been peaceful. Yet, if you enter the foreign media space now, you find something, they will say something has happened. I just hope you guys realize that the Western world has a lot to gain from Nigeria having a negative image, but they have nothing to gain if Nigeria is seen positively. We live in a world now where image is just as expensive as currency, and so it is real. This image that we're talking about has real impact on countries and their economy, and that is what these people want. And that was why they were running around like headless chicken when Harry and Meghan were going to visit, because they knew that this was going to cast a light on a completely different aspect of Nigeria, contrary to what they have always championed on their channels and what they want the world to believe about Nigeria and by extension Africa. And so to be doing this edit and then finding so many foreigners not just coming to this country but actually visiting parts of the country that some of us feel is a no-go zone. We feel like, oh, we cannot go there because it's dangerous, you know, there is war going on, and you find foreigners going to these places. When I was actually editing this video and I listened to Chloe Travels, I was talking about how not only did she feel extremely safe in this country, not only did she enjoy her time, but she wants to come back. She wants to come back. And when you watch her video, she did not just go to all the tush places. She had an authentic experience of this country, and yet she says she wants to come back. Meanwhile, me, I'm in Nigeria and I have not even visited once this part of Nigeria that she went to. Can you imagine? You have foreigners coming to this country and exploring and just having a great time. You have them even defending Nigeria, like this comment here. Can you imagine? This is a foreigner telling you, no, not everywhere is unsafe. You can come and explore if you want to. I think the only thing that brings comfort is that knowing that there are so many incredible Nigerian creators that are taking it upon themselves now to showcase the beauty of all of these places that majority of us sometimes do not know, and we have just labeled them based on what the foreign media tells us. We have people like Enike, we have Farouk Damilola, we have the Niyi Fagbemi. All these three people and a bunch of other creators are doing excellent work in showcasing this country, in showcasing a different side of this country than what the mainstream media tells us. And if you guys don't know these people, please go check them out on all their platforms. They are on Instagram, they are on YouTube. At least I know Farouk Damilola and Niyi Fagbemi are on YouTube. Please go check them out. I was able to find a lot of content for this video just from them. These guys are incredible, okay? And I think it is ironic and also sad that some of us have allowed ourselves to be discouraged to travel. We don't want to explore anymore because of the news we hear, especially about the northern part of Nigeria. Now, the irony is that most of the things that we have heard that make us not want to visit is not even news from Nigeria. It is news from outside the country, Western media. I actually saw something incredibly sad when I was watching under the comment section from Chloe Travels video. Somebody there said, oh, I visited Nigeria and it was such an incredible experience. The only reason I waited so long was because my Nigerian friends in the US were actually telling me not to visit, it's going to be dangerous and da-da-da-da. This were Nigerians telling her this. And she ended up coming and she had a blast and she had a good time. Now, majority of the Nigerians there were also telling her not to visit. And Nigerians who have not been to Nigeria in years, who do not, but who have decided that CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera must be telling the truth. And bombs are dropping every day. And so please do not go. Do you now see where the problem is? And I think that where you should now know that things are not always what they seem and you can only go so far in trusting Western media is that some of us who live in Lagos here have this idea about the North. It is constant war there and blah, blah, blah. And because of that, some of us might not want to travel there. But did you know that this same Lagos that you are living, that you feel is peaceful, that you feel nothing is happening, some people outside Nigeria think that Lagos is on fire, believe that Lagos is literally in shambles and that if you walk out, you get carried immediately, kidnapped, your bag gets stolen immediately. About Lagos, where you are living, where you feel like nothing is happening there. That tells you that we always tend to believe something about a place if not being based on what we hear. But that is not always true, and that is not always the case. Am I saying that you should endanger yourself if you know that there is something actively going on in a particular region of Nigeria, but because the commentator's corner said, oh, we should go everywhere, I'm going to carry my bag and risk it? No, that's not what I'm saying. However, it is very important to rate our own. A lot of these places, you know, I was looking at the dam that Farouk Damilola showed on this thing that I went on. I was like, is this Nigeria? The waterfalls I saw on Enike's channel, some places I saw on Farouk Damilola's channel, I'm like, is this Nigeria? It is incredible. And yet some people pack their bags to go outside the country to see places that might not even be as beautiful as this. I realize that the government has a lot to do in terms of also promoting this sites so that Nigerians too are more exposed to them, but there is more work to be done. And honestly, it also has to start from how we view our country as well, and also these places. It also has to start. I am encouraged to just want to see more of my beautiful country, Nigeria. I would just encourage that you explore more. I know that for some of us, traveling is not really our thing. We are just trying to survive day to day, go to work and all of that. However, if we do have time and we just want to explore, we just want to relax and vacay, why not try and start with your country? Start with the part of Nigeria that you feel safest in, even though honestly every part of Nigeria is relatively safe, but start from wherever, but start somewhere. At least leave your state. It's a great start, because a lot of times people leave this country, they leave Nigeria and go to another country, and their idea of Nigeria is always going to be that one state they lived. I have friends who have moved abroad now, but they lived in Lagos their whole lives. And so when people like them are talking about Nigeria abroad, they are going to be describing Lagos. They are going to be talking from the perspective of a Lagosian. The traffic is much. It is this, it is that. They are always going to be talking from the perspective of a Lagosian, and not necessarily from the perspective of somebody who has been to other states in Nigeria. And so when they are talking, they are describing Lagos, not Nigeria. But a foreigner will not know that. A foreigner will believe that all other parts of Nigeria is like that. So at least let's be more informed. Let's have more experiences about our country, so that, you know, when we go out, we have a broader perspective about where we are from. I am definitely encouraged to explore more now, because there is so much more to learn and to explore in this country, and it's so beautiful. So that's it for this video, guys. What do you guys think about my Kampala? I was going to wear like a t-shirt today, and then I was like, nah, you are talking about something that, because I actually felt very this video felt very personal to me today, honestly. Did you guys know that I had filmed for this video before, but now I'm refilming it again because I just felt that no, I think I want to better, and I want to wear something that represents, not English wear. So what do you guys think about my outfits? I love it. Anyways, guys, that's for this video. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Some of you have asked me in the comment section, like, how can you support me? How can you support my channel? You can support my channel by subscribing to the membership. The membership button is right there below. Subscribe to be a member of the channel so that you would have access to live streams that be members only, and also videos that be members only, or videos that members will see first before I make it public to general. And there are so many other perks. There'll be special shout outs to you in the comment section. Your comments will be highlighted, and a lot of other benefits. So you can do that. You can also click on the super chat button to donate. You can do any of those things. Yes, you can also email me. My email is in my description. If you have any collaboration for me, you have any opportunities like that, you can also mail them to me, because those are also avenues that you can support the channel. All right, and that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like video, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.